What it do, flight crew? FTC. Flight team, stand up! It's April. Another month to be grateful. FlightReacts back at it again. Cops discover a killer's hidden torture force. Right off the bat, that title sounds like something out of some horror film. What you waiting for, man? You said you was gonna stop doing that dirt, bro. I know you feel like it's catching up to you. You see all the new technology, every day it's upgrading. What are you waiting for, bro? Stop while you ahead, while you can. Because you keep saying that you're going to stop next week, you're going to stop today, you're going to stop next month. It'll probably be too late by then. Stop doing that dirt out there. Go find you something legal that you're passionate about and keep it pushing, bro. Because I'm going to tell you one thing. You're going to get caught. You're going to go away for a long time. Your family's going to forget about you. Your friends are going to forget about you. Your girl is going to forget about you and hop on another dude within the first or second month. Or vice versa, girl, boy. Yeah, you get what I'm saying, all right? Come on, do right out there, man. Karma does not miss. Let's check it out. Dr. Insanity.
Oh, shit. SO389 dispatch. I've located the body. The scene's about 50 yards on a trail.
This lone cop just discovered a dead body in the middle of the woods.
What is that? Sounds like it's heading this way.
I see something nice up the top of the body, carving the blood of the place.
What?
10-4, signal 7. Please send another unit to my location.
What he doesn't know yet is that the lifeless man in front of him has been tortured for hours by the twisted man hiding in this very forest.
Whoever did this, that's fresh. There's a little eyeball right here. There's some creepy shit right here. Smell this right. You don't smell gas right here? Yeah. Think they're gonna torch him? I'm not sure what it is, but I got movement east of my location in the woods. There's something moving around back this way.
He carries 3 or 4 knives on him. He thinks it's random.
Man, like right off the bat, man, you got parents, especially parents that really care about y'all, man. Like, when it comes to, I know how that feels. Like, you know, if you a kid and stuff, you just want to explore the forest, you want to go on adventures with your friends, bro, don't do it, dog. Because you got weirdos, you got creeps that stay out in the forest and pray for people like that. Literally.
You're what?
It's not worth it, man. Don't go through that forest that you've been wanting to explore, that you've been wanting to see.
It's December 23rd, 2022, and Officer Azure has just received a 911 call from a distraught man reporting that he's found his best friend's lifeless body in the middle of the Lake Jackson forest. Officer Azure, along with a group of first responders, quickly arrive at the scene.
Okay, y'all stay right there.
Here they encounter Jamie, the 911 caller, and his best friend Robert, both of whom urgently want to show the officer where their dead friend is. Considering the serious circumstances, Officer Azure decides to follow Robert into the forest despite being alone.
389, I'm 10-12 with him. Just give me a minute. I'm 10-12 with 2. I'm heading down to take a look. 361, if you want to come down, and 56 with the EMS in the back. I'm headed down to the scene.
So they're just going by themselves? I think that's what I heard. That's not smart.
I walked over the bridge.
Yeah.
Knife was laying on the ground. There's no blood on it.
Did you touch the knife?
I did pick up the knife.
Okay. Well, we're gonna need to get fingerprints from you, okay?
No problem. I walked by the tarp, and you said see James.
Okay.
And then Alan walked by the tarp and goes, "What's that?" And he picked the tarp up with his sticky gun in his hand. And James was laying there face down, and I dropped the knife and we left.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna need to get a very detailed statement from you, okay? Just because.
I understand.
Well, the thing is, I'm not accusing you of anything, but you have to be ruled out. You see what I'm saying?
100%.
At this point, the officer can't yet confirm Robert's story, but with a dead body reported, he has no choice but to push
That's
deeper
scary,
into
though,
the
like,
woods.
right behind that house, like.
However, alone with a suspicious man he's just met and a killer who could be lurking nearby, the officer knows he must proceed with extreme caution.
You just hang on down right here for me, okay? Let me get up there and take a look.
You guys are in there.
Which one?
Right here, right here,
Oh, shit. Okay.
And then you please put in that back tent, please.
All right. Where's the knife?
Man, I see a tent in the middle of the woods, but I'm just
Okay.
going the other way, bro.
Okay, just hang out there for me, okay?
Jamie was telling the truth. Wrapped inside the tarp is the body of James Leidendecker. He's lying naked in a pool of his own blood, covered in cuts and scrapes. Realizing the severity of the situation, Officer Azure immediately instructs Jamie to head back while he investigates further. That's when Officer Azure begins to hear some unsettling noises.
Oh, hell no.
I'm not sure if it's a person or I'm not sure what it is, but I got movement east of my location in the woods. Sounds like it's heading this way.
That don't sound right, man.
Hey, up T.
Fortunately for Officer Azure, backup arrived just in time, providing some relief from whatever might have been lurking in the forest.
I mean, there's nothing for y'all to check. He's cold to the touch. All right, we got knife right here, body here, tents, whole camp spread up back here. We've also got one outstanding.
What the hell are you talking about?
There's 2 people who live in this camp,
And one's not here?
and one's outstanding at the moment.
Did you find the knife?
Yeah.
I got a knife right here.
No blood on it, though.
Well, there's something right there, but hey, do you still got those 2 guys 10-12 up front?
Yeah, they're standing there waiting for us.
Good, because one that led me back touched the knife, so we need to get his prints and a statement off him. The other
Why would
one
he
touched
touch the
tarp.
knife, though?
They found out what was going on and they took off. I checked the camp, and he's the only one back here.
I got the name of the person that he was arguing with at 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah, so, and I've got what looks like maybe his clothes right over there.
The creepiest
So,
part
he's
too
na-
is like, bro, they found this dude deceased and he's naked, bro. Like, what sick ass like.
Naked. And there's some clothes right there on the fire.
As medical staff arrives and examines the body more closely, they observe a brutal manner of death, blunt force trauma to the head, strangulation, and something even more disturbing, gasoline, found in James's lungs and stomach. Detectives are left with a burning question. Why would a victim have gasoline inside him? However, this would be only one of the many disturbing details officers uncover at the scene.
Hey, Seth, take a look at this for me. What is that? Is that just soot weared off on that, or? I mean, it looks awful shiny.
Where he has been stabbed, just from what I can see. But he is butt naked, face down on a tarp with his upper torso covered, so definitely not. And definitely somebody put him here. So I don't know what his face looks like. If he was stabbed in the neck or the face, the blood may be hidden by the tarp. I'm not seeing any obvious blood. Apparently the witness picked up the knife, and the knife has like a Russian string around it. There's blood on it. Yeah, the tarp's brown, but there's blood all over the tarp, like blood splatter.
It looks like, I mean, he was moved post-mortem. You can tell by the way he was dragged.
He's got a fucking leaf in his ass.
Yeah, that's hollow down below. You see that?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Almost looks like they're carving Odin. Missing the one eye. You see that?
Fucking nuts.
I can't make out the picture right there. What is it? The hell is that? Somebody carved that in the tree?
They had to cut that with a chainsaw, right? Yeah, it looks like
Look at this shit.
chainsaw, right? Yeah, it looks like
Can't even. It's hard to see the face. If they can get like a solid picture.
By now, officers were certain they had a murder on their hands. The injuries to the body, the bloody knife, and the presence of gasoline all point to one thing. This wasn't just a killing, but a calculated act where the victim had likely been tortured for hours.
Sad, man.
With this in mind, officers would return to question Jamie, the man who had originally called 911, and what Jamie reveals would soon lead investigators directly to the killer. But before we continue, it's worth noting that tragedies like these could affect any truck dollar and an organ has dollars and more than their insurance, and it takes a www or by skip investigation. Barcode on the screen from your phone's camera. With that said, let's get back to the investigation. Officers were about to speak again with Jamie, one of the eyewitnesses, and he would provide them with their biggest lead yet.
So I heard arguing and stuff, so I go through the woods, go to this camp.
So you
I
left.
walk back to the camp because, you know,
Right.
all these people argue all the time about dumb shit. It's been a while now, and I haven't heard anything from James or anybody over there. So I go over there to me and my friend that's with
the
officer
deputy.
now. Go over
Where-
there, right? So when I
Oh, I'm
walk,
trying to look that up. Where is this at? Leon County. Oh, it's in Florida. Wow.
get to a certain point, I see a tarp laying there beside this tree, which is never there. I
And
flip over
inside
the
is-
tarp.
Part of Florida. Leon
I
County.
don't even know if it's James or.
Oh, this by Tally.
All right. Well, we're gonna
Yeah,
get
it's
it
on the
figured
top
out,
of
okay?
Florida.
Do you know James' last
Please
name?
do.
Do you know James' last name?
No, ma'am.
No.
I'm talking about the person who did this,
36
because I know who it is. Dusty McDonald. That lives right up. He just got the complaint this morning. Man come down there with a hatchet, threatening, chopping shit up. Called it in, sheriff's department. They come over, they talked to him, they told him that they're gonna go over and talk to him to stay away.
And James is the one who called.
No, ma'am.
Who called this morning? Rick. Okay. Do you know
Rick
Rick's
is
last
the one
name?
who stays there.
Okay.
No, ma'am, but Rick is the one who
Rick.
stays there. James is a friend of everybody's, but
So I
he was
should be
staying
able
up
to
there with
find out
Dusty.
by his name.
According to Jamie, a man named Dusty McDonald had attacked another man, Rick, with a hatchet earlier that day. Police were called, but were unable to locate or confront Dusty at the time.
Wait, that's actually his first name, Dusty?
While this incident
I've never heard of somebody named
was
like that.
concerning, it wasn't enough on its own to establish Dusty as a primary suspect. Until nearly every witness interviewed pointed to him as well. Eventually, officers had gathered enough statements to justify bringing Dusty
it's
in
pretty
for
common?
questioning.
That's
All
my
they
first
needed
time I heard
now
that name
was
before.
to find him.
2 hours.
As police began searching for Dusty, other officers on scene would sit down with the two 911 callers to piece together a timeline. According to them, the day had started with unsettling signs that something was off.
We both went down there. We live right here. We wanted to go check on our friend. He's wrapped up in a tarp.
Okay.
Sir,
We came back
I
and
heard
told-
arguing earlier, right?
We know who was down there, sir.
Arguing.
Okay.
So I walked down through the woods. I seen Dusty have James on the ground. He was saying, you shouldn't talk shit about this, not, you know what I'm saying? I heard, like, oh, they just getting shit out, you know what I mean? But I never hear nothing from over there no more. I'm like,
You know Dusty's real name or?
Dusty McDonald.
Did you say that James called them today and said, hey,
No, Rick.
oh, Rick called.
Rick. James was there.
Dusty went over there and cut his tent with
Cut
a
him up,
machete.
threatened with a machete,
Yeah.
cut his tin up,
Yep.
all kind of shit.
They called the police. I was there
Yep,
for that. I
called
was
the
there for
police,
that.
made a report, and the police just said, stay away from him. There's a tarp laying beside the tree that's never there, because I live here. And I took the stick and went. When I flipped it up, I seen legs.
Based on these witness accounts, officers now have a fairly detailed picture of what likely unfolded just hours earlier. They also have a lead suspect, Dusty McDonald, a name one of the officers happened to be familiar with.
I think they already brought up his name, that Dustin McCormick.
Yeah, Dusty.
Oh, it's Dustin. That's his nickname.
Supposedly general in some militia come down there this morning with a machete and started hacking up some of the tents because so he wanted to clear the area. Said he's a Signal 20 and off his meds.
They said Dusty. They said Dusty's the one that's outstanding. Yeah, they said this guy Dusty left from over here like later in the evening.
By now, it was clear Dusty had likely been involved in the murder, and with Jamie and Robert's statements in hand, police began piecing together the sequence of events leading up to the brutal killing. Earlier that day, Rick, another man who lived at the camps, had called 911 claiming a Dusty McDonald had slashed his tent with a machete while searching for a man named James, even threatening him in the process. Later that afternoon, Dusty managed to find James, and witnesses reported hearing arguing from the camp. When they checked to see what was going on, they saw Dusty on top of James, wrestling and yelling. It didn't appear to be anything more than a heated argument, so they returned to their camp. However, hours would pass, and nobody had heard from James. Robert and Jamie began to worry and decided to go looking for him, and that's when they found a blue tarp covering James's lifeless body.
Wow.
Nearly all witness accounts lined up perfectly with this timeline of events, making the next step for officers clear: arrest Dusty and bring him in for interrogation. Fortunately, since officers had begun the work of locating him earlier that day, they already had Dusty's address. Soon after, they surrounded the house, ready to move in.
Sheriff Office, put a knife down, man. Come on out. Come on out. Come on out.
I don't have anything in my
Okay,
hands.
come on.
Please, I don't
Come on.
have anything in my hands.
Come on out.
I'm right here, sir.
Come on out.
Dude, I'm right here.
Dusty.
Okay. Dude, yeah.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Dude, the man just tried to light me on fire, dude. Y'all know what happened down there. That man tried to light me on fire, man. It's all on surveillance, dude.
Listen, Dusty, you try to do things stupid. The dog's gonna bite you, you understand?
I'm not even armed, dude. Look at there. I'm not armed at all, sir. Sir, man just left my house and you tried to murder me down there and light me on fire.
Dusty's behavior would be bizarre from the start.
Y'all buying his story?
Immediately insisting that James tried to set him on fire and that the officers, quote, already know what happened down there. Whether he's trying to claim self-defense or is just completely unhinged is anyone's guess.
Sorry, what this with me? Yeah, but sir, you know what happened down there. That's what we're trying to figure out. Dude, man tried to light me on fire as I tried.
Okay, listen.
Okay,
We've got one side. That's why you need to come with us. I know you are.
With the supposed killer in custody, officers concluded the disturbing on-scene investigation and began preparing for interrogation. If Dusty was their killer,
Bro,
given what had been
what the hell is this, man?
done to the victim's body, it pointed to someone deeply disturbed. That suspicion would soon be confirmed.
4 hours after.
By now, Dusty had already raised serious concerns. He had slashed Rick's tent and threatened him. On top of that, multiple witnesses had just reported seeing him argue with James hours before the murder. However, despite how clear things seemed, there was one major complication. Dusty was claiming self-defense. He alleged that James had thrown gasoline on him and threatened to set him on fire. This wasn't a claim detectives could easily dismiss, especially given the distinct smell of gasoline at the scene, meaning there was a possibility he could get away with his crime. Even though it's clear who's behind the murder at this point, Dusty's story now carries a shred of credibility. Detectives have one goal: to break that story, either by disproving his self-defense claim using witness statements, or, ideally, by getting a confession. Either way, the investigation is about to get a lot more complicated. To move forward, detectives start by bringing in people from the encampment who knew Dusty well and interacted with him regularly. If Dusty had a pattern of violent behavior, these individuals were the most likely to have seen it firsthand.
My goal here is to kind of get, from your perspective, kind of what you saw, what you heard.
He ain't really been fucking with me at all. I ain't never had no cross words. He's always insistent, oh, come up there and do your laundry and all that shit, you know. Come up there and get a shower. That's what it was. Come and get a shower. Come get a shower all the time. So I fucked up, got a shower and get him $2 afterwards, you know, just a gesture.
Rick explains that Dusty often offered showers and laundry to homeless individuals in the area, sometimes charging a small fee. This catches the attention of detectives.
Damn.
These seemingly generous...
That's a different type of brave, bro. I mean, I get maybe the hustle, but bro, you letting somebody, if you live near a forest or somewhere around a lot of homeless people, you're letting them, you know, come inside your house if they pay like $2 to come take a shower real quick. Bro, that's a different type of trust, bro.
acts may be a part of a larger pattern of manipulation, a way for Dusty to assert control over the homeless community. It's a detail that could support their efforts to build a stronger case against him.
I tried my best to get along with him, and he had a shower that we all used, sometimes try to keep him good with him for those reasons and stuff,
Yeah, I get that.
Never, my wildest dreams did I think he was capable of murdering, that's the honest truth. I was just over there basically using his necessities like we all were when we had a chance to, shower, usually offered it. That's his way of making friends with us, I think. I had stayed with him before and he kicked me out. I thought I was in a light, so I was taking pictures of him and stuff like that with my phone, and I didn't even have a phone. Like, I saw you taking pictures of me with your phone. I said, I don't even have a phone. He said, you gotta go. I left. That.
Dusty lives in a house near the homeless camps, a property owned by his grandfather. At first, much like Rick, Busby describes Dusty as someone who seems generous, allowing members of the homeless camp to use his home for basic amenities. As investigators continue interviewing members of the homeless community, a more troubling picture of Dusty begins to emerge. He has a history of strange and violent behavior marked by paranoia and delusions. However, officers face a challenge. The interviews so far have been too vague, highlighting patterns of behavior but lacking concrete details to build a solid case. This leads detectives back to Jamie, the original 911 caller and the person with the clearest recollection of events so far, and he's able to offer meaningful insight into who Dusty really is.
Mr. Allen, my role here in all this, it's just kind of to get from your perspective, your side of things, what you saw, what you observed.
Man came to my camp last night. I used to stay up there with him. He's a violent person.
Okay.
His papa always wanted to let me stay there because he's the one that owns the property. The reason I don't stay there is because you don't do what he says, and he gets all angry and threatens you, and just crazy shit. I said, well, I
King Flores, what's up?
He had a stick this time, but he's either got a stick, a machete, or a knife. He carries like 3 or 4 knives on him, machete, sticks. It's like he thinks he's Rambo.
While Dusty had a reputation as a bully who routinely harassed the homeless community, no one expected his behavior to escalate to cold-blooded murder. His so-called generosity, offering his home for showers and laundry, masked a deeper need for control and manipulation. The same people he claimed to help were also the ones he intimidated and threatened, revealing a warped sense of power and superiority. In the end, this contradiction may have set the stage for
I don't care what anybody offers, bro. Somebody got a haircut like this, bro. There's just no way you can trust somebody. Come on, man.
Superiority. In the end, this contradiction may have set the stage for the gruesome murder. When Dusty was brought in for questioning, his demeanor was strangely calm. At this point, he seems to believe that he is seen as a victim of an attack by this homeless man. He didn't seem like he was in his right mind at all. Detectives were hoping to learn about Dusty's side of the story, but instead were met with, well, a lot of nonsense.
You know I'm an owl, right?
You're what?
You know I'm an owl, right?
Okay.
Yeah, alright, my nigga. Yo. Bro. We got the first human that classifies himself as a fucking owl, bro. This guy's different, bro. What? Bro. This is why I be trying to tell y'all, man. Like, not even be a bad influence, but, bro, just keep it to tree and liquor, bro. This is what happens, man, when you just start venturing off. You just start trying pills. You just start trying heroin and just all other types of drugs. This dude really, he's walking this earth thinking he's an owl, bro.
You know what that means, right?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. This has been a really hard day. Sir, I waved all right a long time ago. I still have a great sense of innocence within me, if it ain't obvious to you this time.
Throughout his interrogation, Dusty's responses are filled with incoherent delusions and deflections. In Dusty's mind, he's, quote, an owl, constantly watched, monitored, and under surveillance. It's clear that without his medication, his schizophrenia is spiraling out of control.
Let me guess, you're gonna try and claim insanity?
Remarkably well. If you, man, that was some crazy shit, man. And you still be able to get us some usable intel. You know, you don't get why staying at that place is so dangerous for me. I know a lot of trust is given to me, stuff like that, but man, thank you for saying you're good to talk about this.
Dusty seems to believe he's outsmarted the cops, thinking he's there to provide valuable intel as the victim. But he will soon find out that he's actually a suspect in the cold-blooded murder of an innocent man.
I haven't shed a tear all day, you know, I've been going hard, you know. I'm so exhausted. How long have you been doing? What, this kind of work? Not very long. That was my first. I think everybody knows that. From the get-go. You know, thank you for this deep psychological diagnosis support. It's helping a lot. Good.
Listening closely to Dusty's words, it seems as if he's openly admitting to the murder. Although his statement is scattered and unclear, it gives detectives the impression that he's acknowledging responsibility without fully grasping the seriousness of his actions. But Dusty's bizarre admissions wouldn't stop there, as he continues rambling incoherently.
I was brushing and then he throws that gasoline on me because you saw how I was rolled up and down there. Dude, I thought I was just doing it for the other. You know what I mean? Because that was my intention. Everybody knows this. I then managed to hit that Neo UI, come out like that. I don't know how I do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, sure. I mean, when I'm just experimenting in the house with blades, like before like when I took the butcher knife and threw it in curved, like, I mean, I don't know how I do it, sir. I just know with my beautiful mind that it's a three-way. Yeah. You know, it's the photographic, the audiogenic intake, and then the organic. Yeah. You know, if y'all don't ever think I'm so amazed that I'm just like, God. Man, I never thought it would be something like that, but my God, what that thing was.
While Dusty's ramblings could be interpreted as an admission that James was his first murder, the statement is buried in a mix of delusions about retinoids, his photographic memory, and other incoherent claims. The detective picks up on this and pushes further, trying to separate fact from fiction in Dusty's fractured account.
For me to verify everything that I can see elsewhere, I'm trying to. I know you're not mad at me, that's just, I don't want you to think I'm asking questions. I think my personality is, I can't talk to people. I can't do it.
Big Eddie.
I don't want you to think
Skin Simba, thank you.
Certainly, I am very relieved that we were having this conversation.
Dusty claims he's not mad and that people don't understand how he communicates. This shows he might have a twisted view of himself, possibly because of paranoia, delusions, or mental illness. What's strange is how calm and relieved Dusty seems. Most guilty people would be nervous or scared during an interrogation, but Dusty is different. He seems to still believe he's the victim and doesn't grasp the seriousness of his actions. Instead of taking responsibility, he thinks people just don't understand him. This becomes even clearer when Dusty asks one final question to the detective.
Will I be able to go home? I'm going to figure that out. Yeah, because am I going to jail or we're going down to dance? We're going to have to figure that kind of out because you know how this thing kind of goes from here. I guess. I'm going to come talk to you about it. Just look at it.
After this bizarre exchange, the detective had heard enough to know it was time to wrap up the interrogation. Dusty's lack of remorse and distorted grip on reality made it clear they were dealing with someone who didn't fully understand the weight of his actions. According to the pathology report, the victim, James Leidendecker, was subjected to horrific torture before his death. His body showed severe blunt force trauma, including cuts, bruises, and fractures to his face, nose, ears, and mouth. His eyes had severe bleeding, and many of his teeth were broken. The injuries also extended to his neck, with heavy bleeding in the muscles and a broken hyoid bone, suggesting he had been strangled. His torso displayed several broken ribs, and internal bleeding was found in his chest and abdomen. One of the most disturbing details from the report was that James had been exposed to gasoline. His skin had begun to slough off in areas, and a strong smell of gasoline was found on his arms, thighs, and hands. Gasoline was also detected in his lungs and stomach, indicating he had inhaled and swallowed it before he died. This made the murder even more gruesome. Dusty was processed for forensic evidence and transported to the Leon County Detention Facility. The witness statements, his vague confession, and the forensic evidence from the scene were enough to formally charge him. Dusty McDonald was charged with 1 count of first-degree murder, and as of this video's upload, his case remains ongoing.
I don't know what they gotta, like, I mean, obviously they gotta investigate, but bro, just give him the death penalty, bro. Florida got the death penalty, I think. Say nothing else. Like, you just completely tortured the dude. I mean, he's probably gonna try to use mental insanity, but I don't know if that's out or not. Like, you took advantage of, like, homeless people, like, from what other people's stories are about. This guy's just sick in the head, bro. He shouldn't see the light of day again. Weird, man. This is why also, man, you shouldn't just trust anybody, man, that just want to be out there trying to help you and stuff, bro. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what their mental illness is. You don't know what their real intentions is at the end of the day, bro. Just a sick-ass crime, bro. All right.